Moin moin and hello ladies and gentlemen to another Donboxing. And today for you I have something I actually wasn't sure if I would order to try, but I did because the spec sounded interesting. We are checking out the Sound Rhyme SR6. So this thing comes with 1 DD, 2 BA, 2 planar and 1 bone conduction driver. And I was like, okay, that's a configuration that at least does sound interesting, especially with the microplanars we are now using nowadays. We can get a huge amount of upper treble that would be pretty impossible with most other drivers. And I was like, okay, spec sounds interesting, and there's only one review on HeadFi, and that person is to be known to be very positive about most products, and I was like, I'm curious, let's see. The spec sounds interesting, graph didn't sound too bad, didn't look too bad, so that's how we are here. But first, before we check out the SR6, because when I already get forced to order at Penon Audio, I was like, okay, let's try their own store brand tips. This is the, I think they call it Liqueur, and I choose the orange one. Comes in packaging like this. The nice thing about this, or general Penon, is you can usually select 3 different sizes which you like. So I choose S and 1 M, because I'm not sure if M might be useful for some of my IEMs. That's how the tips look. They do look very reflective, kind of plasticky, cheap for whatever reason. And let's remove one and check that out. So you can see here the ring on the inside here actually is a bit thicker than normally, and it's pretty hard. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm not enjoying. This is among the hardest ear tips I think I had in my hand in a long time. And stickiness, oh, this is absolutely sticky. This might actually be rubber by feel, I would say. And lastly, the actual mantle on the outside, as you can see here, is not thin or not thick. It's pretty average, a bit on the thinner side, but average thin, I would say. And other than that, there doesn't seem to be any other technology going on here. It's literally just a rubber or relatively hard silicone ear tip with medium outlet diameter. Let me maybe quickly get my caliper again, so we at least finish this here thoroughly with a measurement of the outlet diameter. So outlet diameter here is 5 millimeters outlet diameter. Yeah, so that's pretty average as well for current ear tips. So I don't know, I'm not getting a good feeling about this so far. At least it ain't that expensive, but also not that cheap. So yeah, we see. And then we come to the SR6 here. Packaging is huge. I had to remove my camera up by I think 20 centimeters or so to even capture how big this box is. For reference, that's a mouse in thickness. It's wider than my mouse, and it's way taller than my mouse, like 1.5 mouse height at least, which for the price of $200, which I forgot in the introduction, is, I think this is too much packaging. I think this is something I would expect of an ultra high premium IEM, but not for $200, because that usually means you also need to spend that money in production or in shipping, and it means you're not spending this money in engineering, which is where I want the money to go. I don't want great packaging, just spend it on engineering, okay? So, plastic is out. And you can see here this also is already custom, I would say, colored. Usually it's like just matte black. This here is not. And oh boy, it's one of those. The cardboard on the outside here is super difficult to remove. So I will probably need to give you a cut here and then try to force it out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I give you a time lapse in the background here. Not sure what I will do, because this shit is impossible to remove. Really, I applied as much force as I could, but this box is just not budging. So what I had to do is cut this open. And with that, we get to the inside box and some not needed cardboard residues. And the inside box definitively is custom themed. This is a nice metallic blue here. Haven't seen anything similar. And yeah, Sound Rhyme is like slightly, I want to say not etched in, but yeah, it's a bit recessed at the back here. And opening wise, I think this probably is magnetic. Yeah, opens like that. The cardboard itself is relatively thick, medium thick, I would say. and then you get presented the IEM as is. So that definitely does look and feel premium. I have to say, absolutely does. I would say let's directly, interestingly, this is also a custom case here. Also usually not done because that is additional packaging power you need to spend, but again doesn't go in engineering or accessories. Let's remove the foam. Also this foam very stiff in here, difficult to remove, and beneath that we get the accessories, which I'll be checking out before we come to IEM. Quick manual here. Then we do get 2 sets of normal silicone ear tips, which I will just quickly check out. This is the standard one that you essentially get with quite a few IEMs from LC Audio, Penon, and a few others. It's not bad, but it's just to render as silicone ear tip. This one here looks like it might be a spin fit clone or an actual spin fit. Yep, it is. Let me just completely fold that back so you can see that here. That is a spin fit type ear tip here, which is very nice to see. Let me just quickly squish it a bit. Definitely a bit on the harder side on the outlet. Reminds me of the spin fit Neo, I would say most, or how I see this here. It's relatively smooth though, definitely not sticky at all. But I don't think it is an official spin fit tip. This might be a copy. But at least the copy is better than nothing, right? And then lastly, we do get a set of S, M, and L liquid silicone ear tips. And having unboxed the Tangzug Tao recently, exactly the same ear tip here. So whoever is the manufacturer here, yeah, that is a wider outlet liquid silicone ear tip, and this does work well for me. It is pretty impressive though that this is all cut out properly for the ear tips you get here. That's pretty cool. We're not just throwing it in there, but it's just cut out of the foam, which again just, for me, I don't know if you need to spend this money for great packaging, if you just could spend it on more accessories or better engineering. Then next, we do already see here there is a cleaning brush here on the bottom, and then we have our terminators for the cable. So we have a 4.4 Pentacon here. Yep. And we have a 3.5 millimeter, which I can also still remove for you. Yep. And then we do get the carrying case here, which does actually look pretty neat. It's again fake leather, with probably fake stitches. It is pretty damn solid though, so there's absolutely no flex going on. And it opens with a magnet just like that. The inside also has 3 different pouches. That's nice to see. That's probably for the cable, and you put one side of the IM here and here. That's pretty cool. It's soft, it's foamy, so there shouldn't be any scratches whatsoever. And you get a cleaning cloth with it, which is pretty nice. And then I think we can remove the, again, the premium overall accessories here and come to the IEM. That's the IEM. And here, small pull tab to remove this. That's nice attention to detail. And the cable is already inserted, but without the connector here. Okay, let's see. We can push out the IEM from the back just like that, which is again nice. And then we remove the foam. And let's quickly untangle this a bit. Interestingly, that they do have this silicone or rubber thing to tie your cable together. They didn't use it. They just literally just squished it in there. Interesting. That's an attention to detail that is lacking, but I mean, not a big deal. So let's first try to insert this here. So this I think is, yep, it just plugs in. Come on, sharpen, just like this. And then you have a locking cylinder here, which is nice. A locking cylinder definitely is a pretty good way to secure that. And actually, the screw mechanism isn't too loose, so this shouldn't shake itself loose while you use it, essentially. Also, this doubles as additional grip element here for the connector, which otherwise just has this smooth cylinder. So let me just try it. Yep, that should be fine to just grip the cable. And yeah, then let's check out the cable details. Strain release here at the bottom is a bit too hard to actually release strain, as you can see. It should definitely be a bit softer. And then on top of that, we get these 2 relatively thick cables, which I pretty sure I have seen on the on some other IEMs. Wait, let me see if I can find it. Yes, I did, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for this cut. So here we have the S12, which essentially is exactly the same cable, just in a different color scheme. Let me just show you here. So this has also this texturing where it's not entirely smooth, it's slightly extruded at places. Same as the Shure cable here. And also thickness wise, this looks like it's pretty much identical out there. Which is not bad because the Shure cable actually was pretty good. It's just a bit, the IEM itself showing its age, I want to say. Still like it, but definitely there are better planers now. Smoothness wise, this cable here though, let's just be fair and try to smoothen it a bit. Medium smooth, so similar to the Shure, like definitely there are smoother cables out there. And then let's go to the splitter. Again, color matched with the bottom here, which is nice to see. And on top, the chin slider, yeah, that does not stay in place at all. Literally just shake it a bit, it moves down and up. So that's pretty useless, unfortunately. And then further on top, the same cable thickness as the bottom, which is nice to see. And then we have the ear hooks here, which I think I only get one side, so we can actually see that a bit better, is slightly inward bent. That's nice to see. That usually gives you a bit more stability. And the rubberization itself is feeling pretty damn thick. Let's look at the bottom. Yep, definitively thicker rubberization than most other IEMs. Bending radius is pretty average if I just hold it like that on my hand, so you shouldn't have any issues with comfort here. And it's also similar to the S12, relatively smooth around here, so you won't have like weird texture over your ear. And color indicator here, red for the right side, which is again a nice detail. Then let's come to the IEM itself, and I will remove the one side so we can have a better picture of that. And first, optic wise, this is pretty nifty optic, I have to say. I don't think I've seen an IEM that goes for this like almost wood grain optics, but here obviously like in black and blue. That looks pretty cool. And then we have the Sound Rhyme logo directly on top of here, which also does fit, I think. It is not too over the top, but I would personally enjoy it without the logo a bit more. Then this is a semi-custom shell without any faceplate. It's all integrated into one piece, which again, I do like to see. And let's start with the connector here. Not color matched, it's relatively flush, but not amazingly integrated, as you can see here. There definitely have been better jobs of a 2-pin connector at cheaper prices, but it's fine. And then pressure hole wise, I directly noticed there's a pressure sled actually here on top, which probably is for the bone conduction driver, I would guess. And on the inside, our indicator here is in the resin. It's not printed on, it's printed in the resin, so that also should be pretty durable and easy to read because it's very bright. And then lastly, the nozzle here on the front seems to be integrated well, and it doesn't look too big. Let me, again, the second time in this video, get out my caliper, do measurement. This looks like 6 millimeters. Indeed, we are at 6 millimeters, and behind that, like probably 5. Indeed, we are at 5 millimeters. So the nozzle should fit probably most people. And insertion depth-wise, this is pretty average, I want to say. This doesn't look too long or too short overall. Generally just average. Contouring looks okay. I obviously need to try it. But what I did notice when I'm holding it like that, this is definitively angled a bit more downwards than most other IEMs. Not a lot. It looks like it might be like 15 degrees or 20 degrees at best. But I need to try how that fits me. And yeah, as it is normally the case with new IEMs, I will be cutting a first impressions directly after that. Then quick first impressions of the SR6. So I put this in my ear, and first, as expected with the downward bend nozzle here, did struggle a bit to find an ear tip that works for me. But eventually I settled on some really short ear tips that do work. And then I listened to this. This does sound pretty V-shaped. I'm not gonna lie here, this is definitively too V-shaped for my taste. But it's V-shaped in a good way. Let me just throw in the measurement here so you can see what I mean. There's a huge amount of upper treble that is also audible to my ear. And there's a decent amount of 2.5 to 4.5K energy, which also does work for me most of the time. And then a huge amount of bass. So yeah, overall competently sound V-shaped here as first impressions. That's it. Yeah, quick Donboxing here. Hope you enjoyed it. Questions, recommendations, or criticisms? please leave a comment below. Donspektor out.